Okay, this is what took way too long to do. If only the RCCC board supported this in a better way. So I have two power inputs that I need to shut off. One is 5 volt, which is going to my Mobius cameras and my FPV camera over there. They're all connected together on the rail over here of the video output. So I basically need the video output rail to go to 5 volts. The second thing is I have a video transmitter over there, which is running 12 volts. And of course, well, that means I have two different voltages to switch. I could convert one into the other, but because it's kind of high amperage, like up to 1 amp, it's not very convenient to do so. I don't want to put another power converter. So what I did is I used this dual latch relay over here, which basically can switch two different pins that are independent. So I use one for 5 volts and one for 12 volts. Forgive the horrible wiring, which is just for testing. And this is all linked to the RCCC board output for called switch, which is basically LED. This is the yellow wire going over there, and that wire decides whether those relays are seeing 0 volt or 5 volt. Unfortunately, I had to use a 5 volt pull-up over here, which means that when the RCCC is not sending anything, the output will actually be floating, which means that my pull-up will go to 5 volts and then select the 5 volt that's going to both relays, and this is the latching relay, right? Unfortunately, I have to apply power to it at all times the way this works. So right now my camera is off and my video sender is also not running. And that's because they're being held down, the pull-up is being held down by the RCCC. So I'm going to flip the switch here, which basically needs power on. Now you can hear the fan, you can see the video transmitter on 12 volts started running. And at the same time you can see the Mobius camera that just turned on also. And now this is the power that's going to my RCCC. It's showing that the Mobius is sucking a bit of power, which is normal. So I'm going to shut off power now. You can hear the relay. And now we're back to 0.2 amps, which is unfortunately the amount of power used by the pull-up, which is only 38 ohms. It's a lot of power going through it, but if I have more than that, then it doesn't have enough power to flip the relay. So basically, to keep everything off, I have to use 0.2 amps. When I turn it on, it goes down to actually not a whole lot, about 1 amp, 0.1 amp. And then as the Mobius starts turning on, then it will start sucking more power up to about half an amp. Since I have two Mobiuses plus an FPV camera, that's actually 1.5 amps or so, which is within the limits of what can be done. So the wiring of course sucks, I'm going to redo it, but this was just for testing, and it basically shows how you can use a single RCCC output that was really not designed to do what I'm doing, to flip power to two different volt rails that are independent. Just as a note, the LED switch output in RCCC, you would think it would flip the plus from 0 to 5 volts. That would be so easy if it did that. What it actually does is it has the minus rail that goes from floating, so you can't use it for anything useful, to 0. And that's why I have to have that little extra pull up over there and a bit of extra circuitry. Either way, it works. So now I have my Mobius and I can just flip the switch and turn everything off. There we go.